guys. Hey, we're at the Wilson Estate. It's a beautiful, warm, cold, blustery day, and you guys aren't going to believe a winery that has all the wedding events and corporate gatherings, those types of things. Yeah. Amazing people.
Yeah, come inside with us and let's check it out.
All right. All right, so we are out at the Wilson Estate with Sabrina and Jerry again. Thank you so much for having us into your home. And you guys, you're from the area. I mean, when we're talking Livingston County and all that stuff. Jerry, you grew up in Howell, right?
I did, yep. Grew up in Howell on a farm, and I come from a family of entrepreneurs. That's all I've ever done my whole life. Actually, quit school just a couple months into 9th grade and started landscaping and then in the marine industry. Yep. And now life has brought me on a wild adventure to a winery, vineyard tasting room.
That's amazing. Serena, you grew up right down the street?
Yep, I was right down the road. We've been out here. We moved from Detroit back when I was real young, and we've been out here 25 years now. And
that's amazing.
So we've just been real local to the area.
Cool. So what are your guys', this is an amazing house that we're in, which is an old 2-story gambrel roof barn structure. On the lower level, you have 2 overhead doors, which we're going to walk around and check out a little bit. But you guys have a wine tasting room where you're setting up an area to do your wine tasting. There's a bar being built, and then there's what was it that came out of Houghton?
There's this really cool old general store counter from up in Houghton. It's like 100 years old that we're transforming into a sitting piece down there as well.
Actually, our guy, Brent Liebrink, that's going to help us make the wine, he took a look at it and he said he's pretty sure that it came out of his grandma's general store. We bought it secondhand, so just from like a reseller. Yeah. And when he looked at it, put his hands on it, he's like, "This was at my grandma's place. Where'd you get it?" Higgins Lake, which is where their family grew up.
That's awesome. So you are, just as you've invited us to, have us out and open your home and kind of see the things that you love and want to share. You're doing that with the general public. You intend to do some wedding events and showers and corporate events, or what is your plan for the estate?
Yep. So step 1 is just going to be getting the wine tasting room open, which, as long as everything stays on track, it should be spring, mid-April to May. And the next step will be doing some weddings, as you know, once we go through the proper outlets with the township, and corporate events. So we've had a lot of people, since we've gotten a little exposure in the paper, calling and asking if we would be willing to do that. And I would love to, beyond anything nominally, just to get people to come out here and see it. And I know I was saying to you earlier, when I bought this place, every day that I went through the gate, I was like, this is so cool. I just want to share it with people. And now we're getting to a point where I honestly don't even care if anybody spends any money when they come out here, or if they don't drink wine. Come out and bring the family, walk through the vineyard. Next door is 10,000 lavender plants.
That's amazing.
Wendy Bella Levon, her shop's in Plymouth, but this is where she grows all of her organic lavender products, or lavender that is made into products. And you just have these rows of terracing lavender that goes as far as the eye can see, and that butts right up to the vineyard. Just really want to share it with people and have them come out and take a look at what we created.
I'll bet.
Very amazing.
You guys wouldn't believe they brought out a package of this lavender, and you just smell it. And I wish it was smell-o-vision, because it just smells so amazing. And not recognize the fact that there's a lavender farm around here. There's so many hidden gems in our area.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
And we pulled up to the estate, and you come to the gate, and we were speechless. We're like, wow. Yeah. And just to be out here and how kind everybody is, and to feel that it's an amazing place. The rich history that's here, and get to know about all the stuff, and it's amazing. You guys are going to want to come check it out when they get open, and feel that rich history and learn about the stuff, and it's truly breathtaking.
Yeah, for sure. The vineyard, how long ago did you plant your grapevines?
5 years ago, I planted the vines, and it was not meant to be a winery or tasting room. I didn't even really plan on even moving here to even go back a little bit further. It just kind of happened. There was a local family that had the house for sale, and they made the deal work because I was not in the place to do it. So thank you to that family, you know who you are. Thank you. But now fast forward, and the vines were planted because I just wanted to have a vineyard. I enjoy growing stuff, and I was going to make some wine for myself just for a hobby. And the neighbor started planting lavender. One day we kind of started talking, and she started getting a good amount of traffic of people coming out to take pictures and cut lavender, and it just seemed like the right path to start licensing, MLCC licensing with the state, and start working with the township. It's going to create jobs, and it's going to give people something to do out here, and it's all kind of just fell into place from there.
That's awesome.
You were telling us the story about this place and how you got this place. Very amazing. And
Yeah.
We are faith-based people, and when it's meant to be like that, and it's kind of like your story.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be, and
It was very interesting. I kind of lived my life no stone unturned. Rather have a life of oh wells than what ifs.
Yes.
And I really did. I mean, this is 5.5 years ago. I decided after driving by this place for the previous 12 years and just trying to will it into existence, I decided that I was going to do a showing just to see the inside. Real estate agents probably hate to hear that because I would be one of those people that...
You qualify?
Yeah, right.
I don't got any money. I just want to see it.
That was me. And I looked at it and naturally fell in love. The listing agent was part of the family that actually owned the property. She called a couple months later and said, I've been praying that you buy this place. And I said, you better pray harder because I do not have the money or I'm not in the financial situation to purchase it. And she said, why don't you come sit down with me and my mom and dad and we'll figure something out. And, now it's conventionally mortgaged and everything, but they definitely held true to their word and helped me get the start here. And it has very much unfolded in that same type of nature from there.
that's amazing.
And it's got a W on the top of it.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, my last name's Wilson. It's the Wilson Estate. And
Yeah, absolutely.
it was the perfect fit. Every day I pull through that gate, and like I said, I see that W and the gate opens, and it's just it is like truly what I would call an estate. And it's been telling me for years that I need to get other people out here to see it and enjoy it, and to be close to having that opportunity now to get the general public here and let them enjoy what I have got to and Sabrina has got to enjoy every day is exciting to say the least.
That's amazing. It takes a special person to take what you love and share with people. I knew for me, I'd be like, I'm hoarding this. That's amazing. Just the opportunity to come here today.
And that is just how Jerry and Sabrina are. And so we've got new friends.
Yeah.
We love it. Should we take a walk around downstairs
yeah.
and we can talk about some more stuff as we go?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So this is the bar we're building.
Yep.
So Sabrina, you had mentioned earlier there's a plan for this top.
Yeah, so we, it's actually out getting bent right now, but we have fallen in love with the idea of a brass countertop. So we've got some sheets of brass that are getting bent that are gonna go on in the next week here, and a lot of this stuff, it's under construction right now, but a lot of this stuff it'll be cleaned up in the next couple days, and everything should be pretty close to getting put together, so.
The brass looks like even cooler the more that people are there having drinks and rubbing on it. I've seen some examples of it, 5 or 10 years down the road, and the patina and everything.
Yes.
It's really cool. It tells its own story.
Yeah, that will be very neat. And then here's that the countertop from the old country store. Don't mind the mess, guys.
Yeah.
We got the same thing with what we're building, so we just want to share. And this is interesting.
Yeah.
These are the beds?
These are, fermentation tanks.
Okay.
I think they're 530 liter tanks. And these will go out in a separate building where we actually license to make the wine. They're sitting here now, that's just where they got offloaded. But there'll be a whole lot of other stainless equipment, pumps and different tanks as well for the whole winemaking process.
So what is the process? I've never seen it happen.
Yeah, so
on a short version.
The short version would be you crush the grapes. Depending on if you're making white or red, you usually keep the actual pulp in it while it's fermenting.
Okay.
White, you just do the juice and add some yeast. The different yeasts really can make different flavors quite drastically. And you let it ferment, and then you clarify it and bottle it. It's really actually a pretty simple process.
Huh. How do you clarify it?
There's a pump. That's actually one of them right there.
Okay.
It's a clarification pump. So there's some really fine filters in there where the juice, once it's fermented and where you want it, will pump through, and it'll come out clear with no particulate in it.
Okay, so it's not like a chemical process. We were watching a video where they made mead the other day, and in order for their clarification, they put chemicals in it. Which,
Really?
Yeah, it cleared the mead.
I'm not too familiar with that process, but I can tell you I was up at, was it Ambrose?
Ambrose Cellars up in near Frankfurt.
Yeah, we bought a manufacturing company, another venture, that makes sauna wood stoves for sauna stoves.
There you go, Jake.
And we'll hook you guys up. This company is awesome. 96-year-old company. I kind of stumbled upon it. That's a whole nother story.
Okay.
But it's in Beulah, which is right outside Traverse City, and right by this Ambrose Cellars. And we went and sampled some meads. Oh my gosh, was that awesome! And then, I'm figuring this out as I go. I am no award-winning winemaker, so I really wasn't familiar with what mead was. And after tasting them, I'm like, we got to figure that process out.
Right.
That's
I
cool.
bet. Yeah, that is cool. All right, should we head outside? Oh, you had a question?
Does lavender produce pollen?
It does, yeah. She has so many hummingbirds and bees and stuff over there. We're working on I don't know if you're preluding to this, but we're working on a white, one of the strains of grapes that I planted is an Itasca. That's a cold weather variety that the University of Minnesota just cross-pollinated and made this grape that just now is getting to the point where I think last year or the year before was the first year that anybody had fruited it and made something out of. It's making award-winning sparkling champagne, sparkling wine is what you call it, because we're not in the Champagne region. And we're playing around with infusing some of her lavender with it, and it's been turning out really good.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Should be really
that is
cool.
Yeah, that would be one of a kind. How fortunate to be next to a lavender
No
farm.
kidding, yeah. We've had a lot of cool ideas with the lavender and a lot of different, like the ciders and stuff that we're going to do too. It should be fun.
I bet. I can really see your dream alive in here with people perched up to the bar and trying different things and having some stone-fired or wood-fired pizzas. If you get into that, and this place will definitely come alive.
It's exciting, and I hesitate to say this because I don't want to push away any of the formal wine crowd, but to be totally transparent, I see this as a gathering place for farmers at the end of the day, or local women in the community where maybe their husbands are still out working and they can gather and have some pizza or baked breads and some wines, and just really nice wines, but a really relaxed environment, kind of breaking the mold a little bit of a stuffy, you've got to be done up to the nines to go sit down and dine. It's not going to be that type of place.
Right on. Very cool. Let's head out.
So this out here is all licensed to be outdoor wine tasting area. So eventually there will be a patio. Hopefully sometime, probably not spring, but during the summer, we'll do a patio that goes out to the pine tree. And then beyond that, it'll just be grass. And that's where we can do, I don't know, croquet, bocce ball, some of that fun stuff. And then there'll be a fire pit out there too. So you'll be able to get right out to the vines with your glass of wine and go hang out at the fire and what have you. So this is what we have planted right now. In the winter, they really don't look like much. On the far end, it's petite pearls. These are the Itascas that I was talking about in the center. And then Marquettes over here. We have another 500 vines coming that will use those poles there. That's where I said you can grab from if you need
cool.
some.
All right, terrific.
And we'll continue the vineyard that way. Eventually this will all be vines, but I'm kind of doing in chapters. If you peek, let's walk right up on top of this hill real quick and peek over. You can see her lavender. This little marsh area that you see here,
Yes.
the neighbor worked with U.S. Fish and Wildlife and Ducks Unlimited to pull out all the invasive grasses and everything and plant native grasses. So that's actually, when it comes to life in the spring or summer more so, it's really cool because it's all what it should be, not all this invasive species and
I'll bet.
purple loosestrife and all that stuff that's not supposed to be here. But that's her lavender barn. Excuse me. And then beyond that, you can kind of see through the snow the rows of lavender.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Winter does not do it justice, but we'll send you guys some shots or come back out in the spring.
Okay. Yeah, we'd love to. We'd love to come back in the spring. So now, to grow these, on the bottom is a water. Is that accurate?
Yep, this is just a drip line.
Okay.
And usually, the last couple summers, it's been, excuse me, wet enough to where I haven't had to run it very much.
Yep.
But when it does get dry, I'll just click it on at the timer at the house, and it just drips and
Okay.
yep, keeps them growing.
3 strands of high tensile.
Yep, 3 strands of high tensile. What I'm doing is there's a number of ways to grow them, but to get really, when you're not going for quantity but more so quality,
Yep.
a high wire or top wire cordon is what I'm doing. You let the cane, the main cane, grow all the way up until it grabs on up here, and then you train the cane to go one direction, and one of the pieces that come off the cane you train to go the other direction, so it looks like a T. And then all the grapes hang. It looks really cool too, because it's like chandelier of grapes that hang off the top wire.
Oh yeah. So how do you keep all your weeds and your?
By hand. It's all manual labor. That's one thing that I did not anticipate. Even just this 1,000 vines or whatever we're standing in is a massive amount of work. It's definitely going to create a few more jobs, because I'm just about to the point where I can't do it on my own, or her and I.
Yeah.
So if you like to work outside and want to be in a vineyard, call me. This is the place to be.
We're trimming. As soon as the weather breaks, we have to trim all of these back to pretty much the main stock and retie them back up straight, like this vineyard's kind of just throughout the growing season, they do what they do, but we'll be out here next week once the weather breaks into the 40s, and we got to trim all these up basically down to the main stock, and then next year they
go back out. Okay.
It's amazing how prolific they are. Like when you see them in the summer, you would not believe that they're these little puny things. These ones are still pretty new, so they are considerably small, but they get hanging on this top wire to where I have to tighten it up because it hangs so low from all the weight.
Wow.
This is the wine manufacturing area in its very rough form. So the stainless tanks that you saw in the wine tasting room will go out here amongst others. Filtration pump, and I wish I could tell you I knew enough about the process to tell you exactly how it's going to be set up, but I just know it very crudely that there'll be 4 or 5 of those tanks. There'll be a cold room, because at one point for some of the wines we make, we'll need to keep it temperature controlled. Yep. Then filtration pumps and tubes to be able to pump out the finished product or what's left over after the finished product is bottled. And there'll be a bottling station as well.
Right on. This is a beautiful structure. Did you have this built, or was it here?
This is here, yeah.
It's amazing.
I really, as far as structures, haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Planted the vines, and we've put a little bit of a spin on different things inside the house, but for the most part, the bones were all there.
That's awesome.
But this gives us a lot to work with without having to put a bunch of money into the structures.
Sure does. Yeah, looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yep.
I don't know. That's pretty much it. The other barns are just full of shit.
Just like home.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's the tour of the Wilson Estate. We appreciate you watching. Please check out Jerry on his socials. He's got a great show on Tubi, which is The Doc Man. Check it out. Very cool that a local guy puts together a production like that on his business. And we hope that you'll follow them through the Wilson Estate with their new winery and all the going-ons there. We're going to go back there maybe in the springtime and maybe go at an event to show you how cool it really is. I think it's going to be tremendous. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you watching all the way through to the end. And if you have any questions, hit us up down below. We will continue to try to interview local people and what they have going on in their life to bring these interesting vlogs to you. All right, we love you. Stay blessed. Have a great day, guys.
Love you guys. Stay blessed.